Hi, my name is Sig from DigitalReviewCanada.com, and today I'm going to be telling you about the new Canon PowerShot G15 prosumer camera. Now, the Canon G15 is a 12 megapixel camera. It comes with a 5 times optical zoom lens that goes from 28mm to 140mm telephoto. Now, what's unusual about the Canon G15 compared to the competition is that it actually features a very bright lens. On the wide angle, it's an f1.8, and on the telephoto end, it's an f2.8. The advantage with that is that if you're shooting under lower light conditions, you'll find that you can take pictures without necessarily having to choose a higher ISO setting, giving you better image quality overall. The other advantage is that, especially when you're shooting video, you have the option of being able to shoot wide open, in other words at f1.8 or f2.8, and create a very shallow depth of field, which is going to allow you to isolate your main subject from the background detail. The Canon G15 is a camera that can be used in fully automatic mode, so you can certainly use it as a point and shoot and just concentrate on composition. Now, it is a camera that's primarily geared more towards enthusiast photographers, photographers that maybe already have a digital SLR and are looking for a smaller, more compact camera that's still going to give a lot of versatility in terms of being able to control settings. The Canon PowerShot G15 features two main control dials located on top of the camera. Now, the top control dial allows you to select a shooting mode, so you can select from basic automatic, program, shutter priority, aperture priority, and full manual, where you can set the shutter speed and the aperture independently. The camera also offers you two different custom settings, so you can pre-program custom setting 1 and custom setting 2 with specific settings that you tend to use frequently, and then when you're in those situations you can simply recall the camera settings by selecting the appropriate custom mode. Below that you'll find the exposure compensation dial. Now, the Canon G15 offers you -3, +3 exposure compensation, and that's in 1/3 stop increments. The camera also offers you an HDR mode, which gives you a better dynamic range in your images, preserving more highlight detail and more shadow detail in the final image. On the back of the camera you'll find a large 3-inch LCD screen. It's a high resolution 922,000 dot screen. The advantage being that you can easily zoom in on an image that you've captured to confirm fine detail, make sure that person isn't blinking and that you've achieved the focus that you're looking for. Another unusual feature with the Canon G15 is that it features it offers you an optical viewfinder. A lot of compacts on the market today don't have optical viewfinders. The advantage with the optical viewfinder is that if you're shooting in a very bright light situation, you might find that there's excessive glare on the LCD screen, and then you can use the optical viewfinder to compose your image. The other advantage would be that if you want, you can turn the LCD off and then just simply, again, compose with the optical viewfinder, preserving your battery power. The quick menu on the Canon G15 makes it very fast and easy to adjust settings. If you need to adjust white balance, want to set continuous shooting mode, adjust flash exposure. Again, very fast and easy to access the many settings that are available on the camera. The camera offers you 3 different metering modes, so again, for somebody that's more of an advanced photographer and wants to have the flexibility of controlling exposure more precisely, you can select from spot and center metering and full area metering. The camera is able to shoot at up to 10 frames per second. Now, that's in a high-speed continuous shooting mode where the camera would lock focus on the first frame, and then subsequently all the shots are taken based on the focus that was locked on the first frame. If you want continuous autofocus during continuous shooting, you're looking at approximately 2 frames per second continuous shooting with autofocus. The G15 uses a lithium-ion battery. It comes supplied with 1 battery and a charger. Now, the lithium-ion battery will offer you up to about 350 shots per charge based on Canon's testing. Now, that's of course going to vary a lot depending on how much you're using the LCD screen, using things like the built-in flash, which I'll talk a little bit about. And another feature that I haven't mentioned yet is the optical image stabilizer which allows you to handle the camera under lower light situations without necessarily having to resort to a tripod. Now, the optical image stabilization system that's built into the lens on the G15 does also draw power, so again, having the active image stabilizer on is going to deplete your battery a little bit faster as well. Now, the camera uses an SD memory card. It doesn't come supplied with an SD memory card, but secure digital memory cards are one of the more common cards on the market today. If you're going to be traveling and so on, I would recommend, with a camera like the G15, you'd probably want to be looking at a 16 gigabyte card. Even 32 gigabyte cards are common on the market. The G15 allows you to shoot HD video, full 1080p at 24 frames per second.
The Canon PowerShot G15 features a built-in pop-up flash, ideal for fill flash applications. The pop-up flash offers up to about 15-20 feet maximum output depending on aperture and ISO settings. The Canon G15 also features a dedicated hot shoe located on top of the camera that allows you to attach an optional dedicated external flash unit. Using an external flash provides a number of advantages, including increased flash output, the ability to perform bounce flash photography, as well as helping to prevent the red-eye effect that commonly occurs with built-in flash units due to their closer proximity to the lens.
As far as the overall capabilities of the camera, I've been shooting with the Canon G15 now for a couple of weeks, and I've been very pleased with the general operation and the layout. Like I mentioned before, it's easy to access the menus. The two main control dials located on the top of the camera make it very fast and convenient to change your settings on the go. One thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that the Canon G15 actually also supports shooting in the RAW format as opposed to traditional JPEG. The advantage with shooting in the camera's native file format RAW is that it gives you a lot more latitude in post-editing, and typically will produce better image quality, especially if you're shooting at higher ISOs. In terms of ISO capabilities, the G15 offers you a ISO range from 80 to 12,800 ISO. Now, if you go to our website, DigitalReviewCanada.com, you can see our Canon G15 sample images page, and I've taken a number of shots under different conditions, different ISO levels, and you can have a look for yourself and see what you think. Personally, I would say that in terms of high ISO, certainly up to about 1600 ISO, you can get pretty decent image quality from the camera. 3200 if you're printing larger, or rather smaller size prints, and primarily for web or email. Anything beyond 3200 ISO, you're basically looking at image quality that is going to suffer in terms of the amount of detail that's available. And at 12,800 ISO, the image quality is basically unusable, which certainly falls into expectation for a camera of this type. Now, the reason for that is that a camera like the Canon G15 has a much smaller sensor compared to a camera that features, let's say, an APS-C size sensor common to cameras like the Rebel series or in the Nikon lineup, the DX format. Advantage being, of course, that with the smaller sensors, smaller format, smaller size of camera, and ideally, or what the camera is geared for ideally, is the travel photographer, somebody that's looking for a camera that offers you a lot of functionality, a lot of versatility, that you might want to take with you when normally you wouldn't want to bring all your gear with you. And even from a security standpoint, there might be situations where you don't want to be walking around with a big SLR hanging around your neck. Something like the Canon G15 can easily be thrown in a pocket and still deliver very good image quality. Again, like I said, check out our sample images from the Canon PowerShot G15, DigitalReviewCanada.com, and decide for yourself.